Hello. Hey, I know.
Back off, lady! How dare you approach me in the gym?
You're a woman that goes into the gym and you ask yourself, like, why does every man stare at me? Why don't I get approached by these men? Is something wrong with me? I'm gonna tell you the answer.
Do tell.
I'm not being delulu, this is just facts. I know it, and I've heard it from men saying why they don't approach me. The reason why you are not getting approached is because these men see you as a woman with high value. A lot of men just want to have fun, so they go and push themselves on women that they think don't have high value. This is the truth. Like, I'm trying to be kind, but that is the truth. If you are not getting approached in a place where everyone's breaking their necks to stare at you, they know that if they approach you, you will hurt their ego.
Interesting.
And they know that you are better than them. Men can sense if a woman is better than them, and that intimidates them. That just makes them scared, like, oh shit, like, no woman can be better than me. And personally, I take this as a compliment if I'm out in public getting a lot of stares.
Well, that was interesting. But guys aren't approaching women at the gym because they think that they're too high value. A person can't tell if another person's high value just by looking at them. They might get some clues, but a person actually has to get to know someone to find out if they're high value or not. First and foremost, hitting on a woman at the gym goes against gym etiquette. Guys are there to work out, not hit on women. And notwithstanding the fact that a lot of guys are actually shy, and it's only going to be the really confident ones that actually approach women, but even then, guys have been told over and over again, don't approach women, because unless that woman finds you attractive, it's considered to be creepy. So, with all that taken into consideration, it has nothing to do with the men thinking that you're too high value. It has to do with men being prudent.
You guys, so I'm at the gym. You know what? Go up to her. Go up to the girl that you think is cute, because most likely she likes you too. And she's waiting for you to go up to her. So do it.
Bursts. Can you put 25 on each side? Thanks. Who are you? Hey, my name's Sydney.
I'm here to work out.
Oh.
Wait,
Yep.
do you need something?
Why?
Do you need something?
No.
Okay, I thought so.
Are you over there?
Keep it pushing.
If you're getting rude, you can leave. Nobody was looking at you inside your way. I don't own the gym. I work here. Yes. And if you're getting rude, then you can
That
leave.
means what?
I can go to the police and have you trespassed right now. Would you like that?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, let them know.
That's what we'll do. So right now, I'm going to take your stuff and head up front. All right,
Cut the cameras.
The gym used to be where men went to look good for women. Somewhere around 2024, that flipped. Now it's where men go to forget about them entirely.
Men can be so freaking weird, because tell me why I'm hosting a gym transformation / weight loss challenge with our local gym. And just because that there's a female's name on the flyer, men are low-key refusing to enter. I have over 25 females signed up, but only 5 males. And the feedback is because a female is hosting the challenge. Now, mind you, I am a professional bodybuilder, so I feel like I've already proven myself in the fitness industry, but because I did not put the owner of the gym's name on the flyer, who's also a very well-respected bodybuilder in the area, they're just refusing to sign up. Now, mind you, the cost of the challenge is only $15, and you win a 6-month free gym membership. You get a free cabin night stay at one of our state parks. Like, there's so much. Like, you get $75 in Bucked Up products. Like, there's so much. Like, the cost of the challenge to the prizes is insane, and they're still refusing. It low-key just sucks as a female that I have to continuously prove myself over and over and over, even though I know what I'm talking about.
Why do men in the gym feel like they can't approach women in the gym? Like, what's going on? I heard some gym bros saying it's automatic law that you should not approach a female in the gym. I don't want nobody who don't go to the gym. So that's why we really got to address this issue, because if you're not a creep, or you got good intentions, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to approach a female at the gym. Yeah, I have my moments when I'm in my zone, but like if you see me on a break and you want to tell me I look good or that you see them gains, like do that. Worst case scenario is I say hell no, and then we end up gym bro, gym sis for life. You know what I'm saying? I think nowadays men are too fragile, too afraid of rejection. Approach the gym girlies. Approach the gym girlies. If you're not a creep, it's okay to approach us, okay?
There's a phrase that started showing up everywhere in men's fitness content this year: iron therapy. It's not marketing, it's how guys are actually describing it. The barbell doesn't argue. The barbell doesn't read your last text 3 different ways. The barbell shows up, demands focus, and leaves you exhausted in a way that fixes things.
Are you comfortable with your significant other going to the gym without you? I know this sounds like a crazy question, but my husband just came home from hockey the other night and he told me he was having a conversation with one of his friends there, and they basically were like, yeah, I never let my wife go to the gym without me. And my husband was like, why? Like, what's the big deal? And the guy was like, well, there's a bunch of guys at the gym. Like, I'm not going to let her go to the gym without me. And my husband was like, well, why? Like, you don't trust her? And he's like, no, I trust her. I just feel like she's too nice and like she doesn't know how to turn somebody down, and she won't know how to shut it down, basically, if somebody's asking her out or asking her for a number. And then I was just like, is that a normal way to think? Because honestly, in my relationship, we do not give a crap. He can go play hockey, he can go to the gym, if he wants to go for a run, whatever, like it's cool. And same with me, like I don't ever feel any kind of way. He never makes me feel like I can't go to the gym by myself or go to a workout class or whatever. I just thought it was interesting that this is something, I don't know if it's common or not. So that's why I'm kind of asking you guys, what do you think about this? Are you with a partner who's not comfortable with you going to the gym? Is that normal or is that weird?
Call me crazy, but when did it become a bad thing for guys to approach girls at the gym? Like, as long as it's a respectful time to do it, like, please come talk to me. What the fuck?
To preface, I'm just speaking from my own perspective. I have no reason to approach a girl who's 22 years old. It's way out of my age bracket. The male gaze in the gym in 2025 is modesty. The women who most of us find attractive don't want to be approached because they're there for the same purpose that we are, to train and work on themselves. I've been in the gym for over 10 years. When I'm in the gym, I'm there strictly for my goals. I'm in a t-shirt. I'm not worrying about how I look to anybody. With that, walking around the gym at 227 pounds, bearded, long hair, pumped, I'm not approachable at all. Women find that intimidating. In that said, we respect the queens from afar. They're most likely wearing a modest fit, oversized tee, training hard, unlike the girls training to mild discomfort, and seeking validation in their two-piece Define set or whatever, in which we can tell, by the way.
For a lot of these guys, the gym replaced the bar, the church, and the therapist all at once. They go 3 or 4 times a week. They know everybody's name. There's a chalk-handed brotherhood happening at 5 a.m. in every commercial gym in America, and most women have no idea it exists.
All right, I want to preface this by saying I understand that there are a lot of shitty and creepy men in the gym, but I think so many men just don't ever get the benefit of the doubt, and they're like afraid to even talk to women or say anything to a woman whatsoever. The other day I had a guy come up to me in the gym and he was like, I've always wanted to ask you what your name was and talk to you. He was like, I never wanted to be like creepy or approach you like that. He was like, but I just think it's awesome that I can see a woman going as hard as you do in the gym and doing the same stuff that guys do. And I appreciate that compliment a lot. And then another guy today stopped me and he was like, I don't want to seem creepy and I don't ever want you to think that I'm staring at you. He was like, I just really appreciate how good your form is and how well you do at all of this. And it just sucks that these men feel like they need to defend themselves before they ever even say anything. And I love to talk to people in the gym and I love to build that community, but it sucks because men assume that all women are just going to be like, you're really creepy, you're staring at me, I feel uncomfortable. And I get it because I've been in those situations too, but damn, guys can't say anything without having to defend themselves first. And that sucks. I can get away with a lot more shit as a female. And I just hate that y'all are in that position where you have to defend yourself before you even start.
The transformation part is what really gets them. He started lifting heartbroken at 195 with a beer gut. 20 months later, he's 175, lean, has a jawline, sleeps 8 hours, makes $30,000 more a year because his confidence at work changed. Same guy, new man. Different market entirely.
To go back to your point about mental health is I went through a rough patch about maybe 5-6 years ago, and the gym was my therapy. The gym got me through every problem I had. Every bit of... I know it's not for everyone. I'm not saying it's a one-size-fits-all, but I said to my girl, I was like, is there something going wrong with you? And then she's like, say, yeah, I'm going through a rough time. That's even more excuse to get into the gym. When you go to the gym, you release endorphins. It makes you feel better, makes you look better. There's no downside to going to the gym and lifting weights and doing something. And that's for anyone. If there's any guys ever out there, the gym fixed my life, and it fixes a lot of people's lives.
Let me tell you something. The gym is one of the few things in life that truly matters. Because in that place, no matter how lost you feel, you can change everything starting with yourself. The gym doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about...
The mental health side of this is where the data gets serious. American Behavioral Clinics published numbers earlier this year showing a 30% increase in men seeking telehealth therapy. Same period, fitness data shows record male gym attendance. Same guys, they're doing both, lifting in the morning, talking to a professional at lunch, building 2 different kinds of muscle at the same time.
Okay, so I need y'all to be dead but honest. Do I look mean? Do I look mean or like unapproachable? Because I'm trying to figure it out. I've been going to the gym for 3 years now, and one guy has approached me in the gym. One guy. I can name the situation. One guy. So I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong. Like, why do people not want to, like, talk to me? And not, like, in a sappy way. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. I'm, like, literally wearing bright pink right now. Like, is that not approachable? I think it is. Okay? I don't know. Let me know.
This is not because you look mean or you're not wearing a bright enough color. I'm going to tell you the 2 very honest reasons why men are not approaching you at the gym. And if I know anything about men, I think that most of y'all are going to agree with this. The first very honest reason is that you are attractive, which means that you are higher risk. A man is at higher risk of getting rejected, honestly, if he approaches you. That is why not just giving subtle hints, but being a little bit more forward in your case will be successful. But then there's the very real second reason, which is all location based. You are at the gym, which is where a man finds peace. He is there to work out. He is not necessarily there to look for a date. And one way that he can definitely ruin it for himself is by approaching the wrong woman, get rejected, get so called out and embarrassed, maybe be called a creep, to the point where he can no longer show up at that gym. And then what? He has to find another gym or stop working out, which is going to be terrible for him. That is why I say, ladies, it is so important to remove those barriers, make it very clear that you're interested in that man, and it will go a lot smoother.
And solitude became the third leg of it. Gym, therapy, and the quiet apartment. 3 things that don't drain him. 3 things that compound instead of cost. He stopped seeing being alone as a problem to solve. He started seeing it as the conditions required for everything else to grow.
Get ready with me for the gym while I tell you how these men are living a double life at the gym. I used to work at a gym, okay? I used to work the front desk at a gym. It was my favorite job ever, but if your man goes to the gym without you, you need to be careful. So there was this guy at my gym, and he was super friendly to everybody. He would talk to everybody and anybody. So I thought, oh, that's just in his nature to be, you know, kind, talkative, whatever. I'd ring him up for a drink every time he'd come in. Okay, keep that in mind. Put a pin in that because we'll come back to that. Every time he'd come in, he would buy a drink, chop it up with me. I'd laugh, whatever. He'd walk away. He'd do his workout. This guy told me he had a song with the Migos. 19, working at a gym. I think that's cool. And the song was a really niche Migos song that would always play on the radio back in, like, when I was in middle school and I lived in California. I was like, what the hell, you made that song? Like, that was my shit. He asked for my number, and I remember I was like freshly single, whatever. I don't know. I gave him my number, okay? Yeah, whatever. I thought he was nice. He texted me one day late at night, and he's like, on some weird freaky shit, so of course I don't answer. Time goes by. I didn't notice really, but he hadn't been at the gym in a while, okay? One day, I'm at work, and I worked really early. I would work at 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m. I'm sitting at the front desk, and around this time my phone is dry as fuck. So I look in my Instagram DMs, and there's a request DM, and I'm like, what the fuck? Open the request. Some woman, and she's like, see you at the gym, Boki. I was like, what the hell? So I answered this DM because my life was so boring at the time and I had no idea what the hell this lady was talking about. I answered, I was like, hello? And she asks me, do you know a man named blank? And this was like his government name, not the name that he went by, like his stage name or anything. And it took me a second and I was like, who the fuck is she talking about? Oh, and I was like, yeah, I do know him. Like, why? What's up? She proceeds to tell me that that's her man. I don't know if they were married, but they had like 7 kids together. Holy shit, that's a lot of kids. Oh my god. And you know, I do not want any problems. If you think your man has something to do with me, I'm always gonna answer, like, always. Like, I'll be like, what do you need to know? Like, I'll tell you the day he viewed my story, anything. Like, it's really not a problem. So I was like, oh my god, yeah, I do know your man. Like, I'm so sorry. We exchanged numbers and he texted me, but I never answered him and I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, like, I would have small talk with him at the gym. Nothing crazy, right? He talked to everybody at the gym. I really didn't think anything of it. And she's like, oh my god, he always does this. He hasn't even been paying you guys. That's why he always talks to you guys at the front desk and buys a drink before he comes in. I was like, wait. I looked up his account. He was like hundreds of dollars in debt, hadn't been paying his membership. That's why he was so friendly. That's why he bought something every time he came in. Why? At this point, me and her are like chill. Like, she knows I'm not like on no bullshit. I'm not a threat. I'm telling her everything she needs to know. I'm showing her receipts. I'm like, I'm so sorry this happened. And she's like, no, like, I'm sorry I came at you that way. And I was like, cool. I'm glad we made up, you know? Like, so basically, she found me because I was following him, and then she went on my account and saw that I went to the same gym as him. And yeah, the text she sent me was at like 3 or 4 a.m. It was so weird. She was like, see you at the gym, Boki. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck? I am not about that life. I don't want to fight anybody, especially over a man. What is going on? So his mindset when he walked in was, okay, I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna pay $3 for this drink, I'm gonna go to the register, chop it up with them. They're not gonna tell me to check in because I just bought something and I'm charming them, and they're not gonna notice. And it worked for months. For months he wasn't checked in our system. For months we didn't see that his account was on red and he owed us hundreds of dollars. And this is a grown ass man. Like, you are too fucking old to be doing shit like that.
Here's the part that landed hardest. A man with a gym routine, a therapist, and a quiet apartment doesn't need a relationship to function. He might want one eventually. He doesn't need one now. And a man who doesn't need anything from the dating market gets to actually choose from it. That's the position these women are watching from the outside, and they don't recognize it because the men they remember weren't built like this.
To the girls who are still unsure if they should go after the hyper-masculine, conservative, gym bro, obsessed with success guy, I'm going to convince you real quick, okay? Imagine you're on day 2 of your period, you're having excruciating cramps, your mood swings are all over the place, all you want to do is cry, life feels miserable, and he comes home to complain about his job. Imagine you're 9 months pregnant, but he can't help you because he's having back pain. Imagine every single time something breaks in the house, he has no idea how to fix it, so he has to call a specialist, which costs you $500 to $1,000 every single time something has to be fixed in the house, instead of him just knowing how to do it for free. Imagine he has a literal emotional breakdown and then blames it on his zodiac sign. Imagine it's 9 o'clock at night, you've got 3 toddlers running around, the kitchen's a mess, it needs to be cleaned after dinner, the kids need to go to bed, but he's on his video game. Imagine you guys are about to make a really big life-changing decision together, like buying a house or moving across the country, and he has to consult with his mom first.
I'm in the gym and you're a man and you see me doing the exercise wrong, do not take the opportunity to walk up to me and tell me the correct way to do it. I was in the gym the other day and I was doing lat pull downs. Had my headphones on, I was in the zone, I was going. All I know is a man, I see him in my peripheral and he's over there like doing something. So I slide my headphone off, and he's like, hey, you want to pull it right here because you could hurt your rotator cuff. I said, okay. How you know I don't like my rotator cuff a little hurt? Like,
All right.
I don't like no man telling me nothing. Don't. And then now I'm working out in the gym and I'm like, damn, are you watching every exercise that I do to make sure I'm doing it right? Leave me alone. Don't tell me nothing.
Oh my God.
Like,
All right, here we go again. Now I'm all for calling out creeps and telling men, don't be creepy in the gym. Leave women alone, let them work out there. But this guy's trying to save you from an injury. So PSA, fellas, if she's going to hurt her rotator cuff, don't say anything because she might like her rotator cuff hurt, according to her. Bird brain logic again. And then when she hurts her rotator cuff, she's going to come on the internet and say, all these grown ass men in the gym, nobody helped me and told me I was doing it wrong. These men ain't shit. It's popular to hate men now, but this shit right here is straight corny. Fellas, damn if we do, we damn if we don't. And these are the people who get hurt on their fitness journey and then they quit. And they never go back to the gym and say, the gym ain't for me, that ain't for my body. We just try and help you out so you can get to your body goals, man. It's cooked out here, fellas. Just don't say anything. Unless it's your client, just let her do the shit wrong. Let her get hurt. She'll learn. Maybe she'll get on YouTube and watch how to do it correctly. Goofy shit. It is what it is. I'm going to tell the truth and I got to go.
Build the body. Get the mind handled. Protect the silence in your apartment. Those three things compound on each other, and there's no shortcut around any of them. The gym, the therapist, and the solitude aren't a phase. They're the foundation everything else gets built on top of.
Subscribe to Alpha Reloaded for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button on your way out. See you next time.